Okay, here's lesson 29. We're talking about ratios today. Okay, a ratio is simply a comparison of two numbers by division. Okay, so we want to tell how two things relate to each other and doing that by division. So here's what we mean. Okay, in a math class, 13 students have iPods and 7 students do not. I want to know what's the ratio of students with iPods to students without iPods. And there's 4 ways to write this. Okay, with the word to is one way. So the ratio of students with iPods, that's 13 students, to students without iPods, 7. That's one way to write a ratio. We can do it as a fraction, where our number that comes first is on the top, and the number that comes second is on the bottom. We can write it as a decimal. Now to figure out the decimal, we'd actually have to divide 13 divided by 7. Okay, and 7 goes in there once. We get 6 and a 0, and 7 goes into 60 8 times, and then we get 56, and it goes in there 4 times. Okay, and 7 goes into 40 5 times, and I'm going to stop there. We could keep going on, but as a decimal it's about 1.85. Okay, and we can write it as a colon. Okay, a colon is just a thing that has 2 dots. Like when you look at a clock and it says it's 1:14, that little colon is in between the 2 ones. Okay, so it could be 13 to 7, like that. 4 different ways to write a ratio. The one that we're going to use the most is this fraction way. Okay, because again we want to do the comparison of two numbers by division. So let's go ahead and look at some examples. So objective 1 is to write ratios, and we got some steps here we'll talk about in just a second. Okay, first let's talk about the problem. There are 9 girls and 15 boys in a class. What is the ratio of boys to girls in the class? Okay, so we've got 9 girls and 15 boys, and I want to know the ratio of boys to girls. That's important because that means the boys need to come first in my ratio. Okay, so step 1 is to write down the two things you were comparing as a fraction. And I'm going to write them in the order the ratio tells me. So I'm going to write them as boys to girls, where the one I say first always comes on top. Then we're going to use this fraction to write our ratio with the numbers we got. Well, we had 15 boys and 9 girls. Okay? And step 3 is to simplify if possible. Okay? Well, 3 goes into 15 and a 9, so that means our ratio is 5 boys to 3 girls. So that means for every 5 boys in my class there are 3 girls. Okay, that's our ratio. Okay, let's go on to another example. So now we've got a 30-foot tall tree that casts a shadow that's 18 feet long. I want to know the ratio of the height of the tree to the length of its shadow. Okay, so we know the tree is 30 feet tall and the shadow is 18 feet long. Then I want to know the ratio of the height of the tree to the length of the shadow. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is write a fraction to tell me what I'm comparing to each other. And I go in order. It says the ratio of the height of the tree. So we got the height of the tree over the length of the shadow. Now I'm just going to fill in the numbers. My tree is 30 feet tall, and the shadow is 18 feet long. Well, these two units cancel each other out, so now I just have to worry about the number. Simplify if possible. So what's a number that goes into both 30 and 18? Well, 5 goes into both 30 and 18. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Oops, sorry. Let's try that again. Try that again. Sorry, 6 goes into both 30 and 18. Okay, so 30 divided by 6 is 5, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. And then I don't put my labels in because they cancel each other out. So the ratio of the height of the tree to the length of the shadow is 5 to 3. That's how I read that. Okay, 5 to 3. Alright, let's go on to another example. Okay, objective 2 is to approximate ratios. So this is a little different, okay? There's going to be some times where the numbers aren't nice and clean, I call them, okay? Nice and easy to work with. So, and they're not like simplifiable. Okay, you can't simplify them. So, sometimes we want to approximate the ratio. Tell me an approximate amount. So here's our example. At the high school football game, 1,217 fans sat on the home side, and 896 fans sat on the visiting side. What was the approximate, that's a keyword, ratio of home team fans to visiting team fans? So again, we know that we have 1,217 fans on the home team side, and 896 on the visiting team. And we want to know the ratio of home team fans to visiting team fans. So again, I'm going to start by writing the fraction. So we got the home team and the visiting team. First thing we're going to do is write the ratio. We've got 1,217 home team fans and 896 visiting team fans. And our label fans will cancel out, so we don't have to worry about those. So that's step 1, write the ratio. Step 2 is to round it. So I don't want to do 1217 to 893. That's not nice and easy to work with. So I'm going to round these. This one will round to the closest closest 100. Okay, so that's 1,200 fans about. And I'm going to put the little squiggly line in there. Tell us about. And this one will round up to about 900. Okay? Well, now we can simplify this to make it a nice, easy number to work with. Okay? We don't have to worry about these zeros here. They cancel each other out. So 12 to 9, that's the same as 4 to 3. So it's about 4 to 3. So that means for about every 4 home team fans, there's 3 visiting team fans at the football game. And let's do one last example. Okay, so here it says Rosa kept a record of the number of pages and number of minutes she read each night. So we got how many pages she read and how long it took her. Okay, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe she's got to keep track for English class. We're going to find Rosa's approximate reading rate for the book in pages per minute. Okay, so pages per minute. Again, approximate. Approximate means that we can round, okay, if we need to, or make it close. So we are going to, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can do the days all individually, or we could figure out the total pages and the total minutes. Okay, so we'll do each way here. First, let's do the total pages and total minutes. So again, this says we want it in pages per minute. Okay, so we're going to put our pages on top and our minutes on the bottom. Alright, well if I add up all these pages here, 15 plus 11 is 26, plus 14 is 40, plus 20 is 60, plus 27 is 87. So she read 87 pages. And how many minutes? We got 30 plus 20 is 50, plus 30 is 80, plus 40 is 120, plus 50 is 170. Okay? Well, we want to approximate, so we want numbers that are easy to work with that go into each other. Okay? So 87 we could round to 90, but 90 doesn't go into 170, it goes into 180. Okay, so we're going to approximate that. So if we reduce that down, that is about 1 page for every 2 minutes. Okay? Well, this says in pages per minute. Okay? So we've got 1 page for every 2 minutes. So per minute means how many pages in 1 minute? Well, she reads 1 page every 2 minutes. That means she reads about a half page every minute. Okay? So we got this fraction that just tells us how many pages she's going to read each minute then, because 1 page every 2 minutes means she reads a half a page each minute. So that's using the total, okay? Well, let's go day by day here. If we did Monday, okay, let's keep track of Mondays. Well, she's got 15 pages for 30 minutes. That's about a half page a minute. Tuesday is 11 pages for 20 minutes. Well, if we approximate round, that's about 10 pages per 20 minutes, which is, again, about a half page per minute. Wednesday, 14 pages for 30 minutes is pretty close to 15 pages for 30 minutes, which is about a half again. And Thursday, 20 pages for 40 minutes is a half a page a minute again. And if we go Friday, 27 in 50 minutes is pretty close to 25 out of 50, which is also a half. Okay? So each one of the days gave us close. We're approximating about a half again. So either way, it's still about a half page per minute. Okay, so that's approximating. Whenever you see approximate, it's okay to round. Okay, give me an approximate answer. That's what you need to do. Alright, you got any questions? Ask. Otherwise, good luck on your homework.